So I'm at a used car dealer auction today. All right, I think that car's missing something. And this Camry right here has 256,000 miles on it. It's still running strong. Let's check this right here. It's a Highlander. It's a 2013. It's got 142,000 miles. Later on today, I'm actually going to show you what some of these dealers pay for a lot of these vehicles.
Sometime, let's go.
All right, and if you zoom in right over there, if you see that, if you haven't been to one of these auctions with me, before the auction goes through, we're about 15 minutes from the auction starting. What they'll do is they'll go and they'll actually auction off all these cars sitting over here. These are non-runners, or they call them inoperable. What that means is that they will not crank, they will not move for whatever case. They might be locked up. These dealers will walk out here before we go into the building to auction off the running cars, and they'll actually bid on these cars out here. The thing about a lot of these cars though is they're inoperable, they're non-runners. So once the dealer buys them, raises his hand and buys it, then that is now his car. And they have a lot of cars that they have to move through the system every single week, so they need these cars out in a timely manner. So what that means is these cars need to be hauled out truck very quickly, and so it's on those dealers to get them out pretty much right after the auction's done. So no, we don't buy any non-runners. That's too much work, and there's a lot of money to be made, especially a lot of these mechanics that buy stuff like that. They throw a motor in it. They could buy a car that they can sell for $6,000–7,000 for 800 bucks, and they can put a motor in it. They can get a used motor for $800–900 bucks, $1,200, somewhere around there. They do the work. They can make a lot of money. It's not our level of stress and work that we want to do, but a lot of guys can make a lot of money doing that. So I actually want to check this Ram truck out. What's going to be interesting for us to follow over the next few months or so is, as Ram continues to have a hard time selling their trucks, it's pushing the new values down on a lot of these trucks. And what that should do is that should push the used values down on a lot of these, on at least the wholesale level, and then it should filter out to the retail. But this is a 2017, it's got 128,000 miles, lifted up, big wheels. Let's go around and look at the back side of it. It's not all that clean, it's pretty rough. But anyway, it's a good truck for us to check. Yeah, that side's not great either. So let's go over here and look at the inside of it. All right, here's that Ram truck. All right, try to start at $14,000, no bids. Drop it down to $11,000. We got bids at $11,000. It's rough. I mean, it's cloth seat, it's basic, it's just the fold down. Gross. Look at all that. All right, this should be cheap. You got some Pepto in the back. Oh, this truck's gross. All right, somebody traded this in like this. Why not clean it up? Don't you think you would get a little bit more out of it if you trade it in like this? And then the dealership, clean it up. Don't you think you'll get a little bit more out of it if you clean it up? My goodness. All right, anyway, we're gonna check this thing out. Yeah, 2017, 128,000 miles, Ram. All right, 11.2, 11.3, 11.4, 11.5, 11.6, 11.7, up to 12,000. 12.3, 12.4, 12.5, 12.6, 12.7. I couldn't be an auctioneer. We're up to 13,000. It's rolling out. We're still bidding on it. We're up to 13.7, 13.8, up to 14,000. All right, it's already out. We're still bidding on it. 14,004. Up to 14,005. This guy yelped, he got a bid. We got 14,006. Sold 14,006. All right, so I want to point out something that I talk about all the time. This is a 99 Camry. It's got 256,000 miles. And this thing is still going strong. They're running it through the auction here today. And that's one of the cars that I built my business on. Those cars, especially in the 4-cylinder, you could not kill those things. And even still today, if you ask me what car do I recommend the most, especially someone looking that's on a budget, I mean, anywhere from a 96 to a 2006 Toyota Camry 4-cylinder, man, you could drive those things forever. I don't even know if you have to change the oil in it. You just keep driving it and driving it and driving it, and they just keep going. And I know they do well into like 300,000 miles and over, because I would constantly see over the years Toyota Camrys just like that have 350, even 400,000 miles on them. And my aunt, I actually sold her a $300 Toyota Camry. It had to be 6-7 years ago. For $300. That's what I paid for it, and it had well over 200,000 miles then. She drove that thing up until just a few months ago, and she sold it. I mean, she sold it for like $1,500. It had almost, it's got like right over 300,000 miles on it, but she didn't have to do anything to it. Now, it didn't look pretty, and there was a hole in the muffler, and it was pretty loud, but nothing major. The motor's still fine. She was driving it every day up until just a few months ago, and now someone else is driving it every day. So yeah, these cars, these Camrys, I will always say, those are the best cars ever made. You could not break those things. And if anyone's looking for a cheap car, one that's going to last for a long time and just to get you to the next stage in life, Toyota Camry 4-cylinder, best thing money can buy in the car market. Let's check this right here. It's a Highlander. It's a 2013. It's got 142,000 miles. And these always do really, really well. And they're easy to sell. A lot of people looking for these. I love these cars. They were good. The RAV4s are also great. Anyway, so we'll check this one out. It's the outside body looks really good, really good. Tires look good on it. Looks like it's got a little scuff there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not. But let's go and check the inside of this thing. All right, here's that Toyota Highlander. Trying to start at $8,000, no bids. Drop down to $7,500, still no bids. Down to $7,000, still no bids. I would guess this would be like a $5,200. Maybe not $5,200. Up to $51 already. Inside, seat covers where the seat doesn't necessarily need to be covered. That's usually a really good sign, meaning that the owner actually took care of this car. This is a trade-in. This is not a repo. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. It needs to be cleaned up. I mean, it's not ready to be retailed at the moment. It needs to be cleaned up. It's got that little scuff on the other side. Just remember that when we're looking at it. 2013, 142,000 miles, Toyota Highlander. We'll check it out. Up to 5,500. Wow, that's a lot. 6,000. 62, 63. The condition was good. Inside looked good on it. Up to 6,600. 77. Not 77. Oh, I'm tired. 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74. Up to $7,400. Sold $7,400. Sold $7,400. All right, check this out. Honda Accord, 265,000 miles. This is another example. A lot of cars that will run forever, and a lot of them have either the Toyota or the Honda emblem on them. Honda Civic's fantastic, Toyota Corolla's fantastic, Toyota Camry's fantastic. All of these cars, and a lot of them, the 4-cylinder motors. That's the ones that tend to last longer. Now with the Hondas, the Honda Accords, the ones with the 6-cylinder motors, they had different transmissions in them than the 4-cylinders. They actually weren't very good. So anytime we would buy a Honda Accord, we would always make sure it was a 4-cylinder because it had the good transmission in it. With Toyota, 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, both good. I still think the 4-cylinders are better. But with Honda Accords, it was absolutely a massive difference between the 6-cylinders and the 4-cylinders with the transmissions. Here's one for us to look at. I love these cars. This 08 Lexus RX 350. Here's the thing, it's got 200,000 miles on it. And usually when I'm showing you stuff, I'm trying to show like low hundreds because that's usually if you're looking for a used car, it's probably the range that you're looking in. But there are people out there that are looking for the lower in the range, but still a really good car. And this is one of them. Hopefully it won't go for a crazy amount of money, and it might even be one that we have on our list. We'll buy stuff like this that has 200,000 miles because I'm not scared of this thing at all. This thing will run forever. My wife had a Venza that we had for a long time, and it's basically the same car. It's a Toyota version of the RX 350, and then after we drove the Venza for a while, loving it so much that I bought myself a 350 to drive for a while too. I love these cars. They're just good. I'm saying all that. I'm rambling now. 2008, 200,000 miles. All right, here's that RX 350 right here. Should be cheap, I would assume. Trying to start at $4,500. No bidders. Inside, worn down a little bit. This thing's been rode quite a bit. Leather's not too bad in the back. Kind of worn there, very worn right here. Everything else though looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm interested to see what this brings. We'll check it out. It needs tires. Definitely needs tires. 2008 RX 350. Great cars. Great cars. I would imagine this thing's going to go for like 23, 2,400 bucks. That'd be my guess. Try to drop 3,500 bucks. No bidders. Drop down 3,000. No bidders. All right, we got $2,000 on it. We got 1 minute, $2,000. It's gonna roll out. We're still bidding on it. $2,000 on a phone call. Yeah, it probably needs to be around 2,500 bucks, I would guess. All right, so you heard me just say they put that car on a phone call. What that means is that okay, the seller had a higher reserve than what it actually brought. I would guess that the reserve was probably $2,500, $3,000, somewhere around there. And it only brought $2,000. So what they're going to do after the sale is they're going to call that seller and say, hey, it only brought $2,000. Do you want to sell it? Seller most likely is going to say, no, I need it to come up a little bit. Let's see if we can push them at 2,500 bucks. And the auction here will ask the seller, ask the buyer, I'm sorry, he messed me up. Ask the bidder if he would want to come up to 2,500 bucks, and then they can get the deal done, kind of meet somewhere in the middle. And in a lot of cases, that's what happens. Maybe it'll end up 2,300 bucks, but the seller's going to need a little bit more from the buyer for the buyer to be able to buy it from them. And in a lot of cases, if I'm on the buyer side, I think the sellers just sell it to me in the lane. And if they don't want to do that, usually I'm just I'll try again next week. Just no sell it, because I think we should get the auction done in the auction and not after the auction. Let's just get it done in the lane. What I am noticing at this auction right now is something that's very, very, very positive for the car market and for used car dealers like myself, is that there are not any no sales. I think everything that we've shown has sold, with the exception of like one if. And that's really good for the car market, because we need these new car dealers to start moving with the market. And it's typically not the case this time of year that you get these new car dealers that actually are willing to sell. We usually get a lot of if bids, a lot of no sales, because as the wholesale prices go down, because of regular seasonality of the car market, used car dealers being slower right now, the vehicles will bring less money. And even though they bring less money, these new car dealers would still think that they need to bring the same amount of money that they were bringing like 2 months ago. And it's not the case right now. The new car dealers, I haven't really heard any no sales today, and that's good. We need velocity of money, transactions to happen at auctions, on the new car dealer lots, and on the used car dealer lots. And the more vehicles that we get moving through the system, the more buyers we get, the more sellers we get, the more money we get, the more prices can go down. And I know that seems like counterproductive on the new car side of things. If you get a lot of buyers that come in and buy and pay these prices on the new car level, well, isn't that going to create even higher prices on the new car side? Well, not really, because then you get manufacturers that start pumping more cars to the dealers, and then you get more competition between dealers, you get more competition between manufacturers, you get more incentives that come from manufacturers, and then when you get that, you get more competition that comes from the used car side of things too. When you have more used cars in the system, that incentivizes people to buy more used cars, and that's not the case right now. We don't have a ton of quality used vehicles, but the more new cars that are moved, the more people will trade in their vehicles, not necessarily because they have to, which is what has been happening over the last 6 months or so, but because they just want to. And the more that the prices come down on the new car side, you get more of those consumers, you get more quality used cars into the system, you get more people that are incentivized to buy used vehicles, pushing also new car prices down. And it's just good for the whole system. But we need more cars out here on this auction lot right here, because that's going to push car prices down for me, and then I can offer my consumers prices for cheaper than what I'm selling right now. So it's good all around. Consumers, dealers, franchises, manufacturers, volume is good for the car market.